Welcome to Bikers and Backroads, a podcast about all things Harley-Davidson. We're your hosts, Jason and the Big Z, so sit back and join us as we go into this week's episode of Bikers and Backroads. Welcome back to Bikers and Backroads. Thanks for downloading the most recent episode of our podcast. Yes, we're on YouTube as a video podcast. We're on all audio platforms where you get your audio podcasts. We're on Apple iTunes, Spotify. We're on Amazon. You can find us at Podbean, which is our host, to push all this info out to you. We're on most social media outlets. We're on X at BNB_pod. We're on Instagram and we're on TikTok at Bikers and Backroads. So we try to upload everywhere we can. We try to bring you content. We just like to sit around and talk about Harley-Davidsons. So whether you're new to the motorcycle world, if you're thinking about buying a motorcycle, if you're kicking around gear ideas, or if you're an old vet and you have multiple Harleys in your stable, we think we've got something for you. We're just father and son. I'm Jason. This is the Big Z, and we just love talking everything Harley-Davidson and motorcycles in general. Just got home from 10 days on the road in Florida, Ocala for a few days with just some vacay with me and the missus. Then we went over to Daytona to help cheer on the Marshall Thundering Herd cheer team at national competition, where they represented themselves and their school rather well. Not the outcome they had desired, but hey, listen, unless you're first, nobody's happy with their places. So you live, you learn. We come home unscathed, no injuries, and a lot of lessons learned, a lot of great times, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. So you've been holding it down while I've been gone. You worked last week, and then you've been holding it down here. So what's up, man? What's been going on?
Not much. We've been missing you for sure. Glad to have you back. Glad to finally be able to record a podcast with you. But yeah, was trying to hold everything down at the fort, even though I was gone a lot, even while you were gone. But we'll get into that later. And yeah, we're just happy to be home and getting back to it.
We always try to start out our first segment with like a safety thing or an install. So we're going to talk about two of those. Safety tip, helmets. We've discussed this. We're both in the market for new helmets. While away, I was able to go to J&P Cycle there in Daytona at Destination Daytona. Fantastic. Tried on a couple helmets that were on my list to try out. I believe in my categories, I'm coming down to two modulars that I'm really leaning towards. We'll split the difference. Fit and finish on both are very good. One's a little more comfortable straight out of the box than the other, but my favorite so far at J&P that day seemed to be the Simpson Bandit modular. I like the way it feels. It's actually a size down from the current helmet I'm wearing. I've got lots of room between the chin bar and my chin because in my current helmet I get some rub. I've talked about that before. So that helmet for me is up there. But while in Daytona, I was able to go over to the Daytona Helmets facility, like where they do all the magic. Their showroom is beautiful. Their building is nice and fresh and new. Staff was amazing. I walked in, their helmet walls there. They're known for like 3/4 helmets too for a little longer than they've been in the full face in the modular world. So they have all these tiers and helmets and colors, a wall of visors for their full face and their modulars. So I did try on also the C6 Pro, the new carbon fiber one. It fits a lot like the Simpson to me. I would love some feedback if people are rocking the Daytona C6 Pro or the C6. I think both of them fit me about the same. I was bigger in that helmet. The size I'm wearing right now, 2XL. I've got a big head. But I just want to know what the break-in time is for that, because to me, it didn't feel as comfortable off the shelf as the Outlaw did or the Bandit modulars, the Simpson Bandit did. But that doesn't mean that after like a day of wearing, they won't feel the same. I had still the same room at the chin. It was very light. It was very quiet. Both of them are light and quiet. If you see the complaints or anything on the reviews, you see where people talk about the Simpson's not as quiet as the Shoei. The Shoei in most people's mind rates as the quietest. The Daytona is actually sitting right there too in decibel testing. For me, my helmet must be pretty loud, and it doesn't bother me, but I wear Artivive earphones. We talk about that when I'm long riding. I'll put in the screens and filter that out. My headset and comm system doesn't have the best speakers, so I lose the volume of my speakers, but you do not. With your good speakers, your Cardo with the JBL, you don't lose the volume of your music like I do the way mine is arranged in the helmet. But really got the chance to talk to the Daytona guys. You can order anything. Man, that helmet's so customizable. You can change wind scoops and visors. They have significantly great technology in their visors, man. They're monochromatic. They change. They'll go from clear to smoke in the sun. That's a standard visor they have. I mean, it's really, really cool. I'm not so sure which way I'm going to lean. I want to hear some feedback, and I know we've got some people that we ride with and talk to that rock Daytonas, and if they've come from a Simpson, I want to know. And if you're a Simpson person and you're listening to this, tell me all about it. I've tried the Bell, I've tried everything, and nothing's been as comfortable as those two helmets. But right out of the box, I felt the Simpson was a little more comfortable just to put it on and wear. That being said, if it breaks in, it's going to be a little bit big. If the Daytona has a little bit of a break-in period and then that all shapes in the crown is where I get the issue. It's like I need the longest intermediate oval and a crown that's not as round. Yeah.
You and I have very similar head shapes, and I that's why I'm going to even say this.
Yeah.
We do have very round heads, but we also have kind of that elongated oval as well. So I do understand where you're coming. I have yet to personally try on a Daytona, which talking to you, just, via the phone and things of that nature. Now I'm really excited to try on a Daytona. I really want to, because I've heard great things from both helmets. I've talked to guys who have switched from one or the other and had and owned and rode with both for years at a time, or years with one, and now they're trying the other. So, we're just wanting to, both of us are on the hunt for feedback. So, yeah.
That was great. That facility, top notch. Whether I buy a helmet from them or not, I would not feel bad recommending that helmet to anyone because, it's a modular, it's DOT, it's ECE. It's got so much safety built in. There's the
their
fit
technologies
and finish of
are
the padding inside is super comfortable. It's just the round, the significant roundness of the peak crown of the helmet. I just need to know from people who are wearing that, if you wear it all day or you mess with it, does it loosen up? Does it break in? Does it ease out? Does it even out? Is it... we've all played sports, and your football helmet was never great the first day. It took some wearing to get used to. I can totally see that both of them use quality materials. And my biggest fear is if the Simpson breaks in, it's going to be too loose, even a size down, in the area where I want it. I need it to be tight. And the Daytona, if it breaks in at all, would be perfect. And it's not a game changer either way. You're looking at similar price points of both helmets, so I don't think you can go wrong in either way. They both have tremendous vision fields. Like, that was crazy to me. As you just put that helmet on and you just feel like you're like looking out at glass all around you because their visors are just what I don't even notice that I'm lacking that on my bike helmet, my current helmet, until I put on a helmet that you're like, oh wow, I might be missing some stuff.
Yeah.
So cool. But back to helmets, while I was in Daytona, I got to meet up with KD, the MC, from over there on Thundercast. He lives down in Wesley Chapel. So we were in Ocala for a few days, ran down to Wesley Chapel to hang out with him. And again, he's getting into bikes. He's really doing his homework. He's looked at Harleys. He's looking at metric bikes. He's looking cruiser, I'm pretty sure. He loves the look of the new Softail Street Bob. But the biggest thing, which I think he probably could get a great Softail standard, a few years old, cheap down there, and make it however he wants. He loves the one graphic on the paint, on the gas tank, and he likes the orange accent color on the black. So he knows what he likes. But this is one thing I realized when I was down in Florida. A 15-year-old bike you can get for a good deal. They're all over the place. And they're Southern bikes. They're in great shape. But a bike that's 7 years old or newer, mint. I mean, people want, they want like new bike prices for used bikes. You can pull it up on Facebook Marketplace down there. You can pull it up on, Cycle Trader and use that address.
It's a Harley tax.
If you want to, he says that. He said, man, down here, I've been looking at other bikes because the Harley tax is real. And I'm like, well, if you're looking, and he's not ridden anything. No. But I mean, if he would get a Softail standard that's a few years old, or even like an old Softail Deluxe, because his wife wants to ride with him, that's not too big a bike for him. You take the bags off. I think he's a little leery about what it's going to feel like riding. But man, you could get one of those for $6,500, $5,500 down there. That's got under 13,000 miles and looks great.
Yep.
And the thing he told me was in Florida, your insurance on your motorcycle is more if you don't have a garage to keep it in at your house. He said that is a question everybody has when he's called around and asked, like, just for quotes. Like, he doesn't even have a bike, but what would it do to his insurance and stuff like that? He's like, everybody, the quote is always more. One, because the harshness of some salt air, because he lives close enough to Tampa that's a thing still. The salt air, the sun on the paint, and just the heat, this hard on hose, your hoses, your insulators, things like that, dry, just getting heat and cracking and stuff like that. And it just accelerates some dry rot, I guess. But he's like, yeah, if I have a garage, my insurance is cheaper. And I'm like, holy cow. I don't, they never asked me that when I got my bike insurance. But difference in Florida. So I can see where he's like, man, I don't know. I've started looking at other stuff and I can get better bang for buck. And I was like, at the same time, you got to realize if you're getting that bang for buck when you buy it, it's not going to hold its value if you realize that's not the bike for you and you want to sell it, or you're ready to move on from that one. There are certain brands that the more they change hands, every brand, the more it changes hands, the less value it holds. Yeah. But certain brands hold better value, and Harley-Davidson's at the top of the list. But there is a window for where bikes fall in what they're worth. I mean, I get it. But he needs to he's just really trying to figure out what he wants. I think it's cruiser, like Softail. That would be a great bike for him. Then he just doesn't want to pay the Harley tax to some guy who's just getting him. Yeah. Because that guy's going to get stuck at the dealership. So he's trying to offset his loss at the dealership by sticking it to the guy that buys his used bike, because the dealership won't give him the trade he wants. We've talked about that. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so it was good to see them. But yeah, 15-year-old bikes are deals all day long. 15 to 20 year. I mean, you can get a great 20-year-old bike. 2005, 2006, still fuel injected, 96 cubic inch. It's a V-twin. Okay, you're either a V-twin lover or a V-twin hater. I mean, I saw a couple Softail Deluxes, black on white, $6,500. It was a 2006, a 96 cubic inch, fuel injected, basically bone stock. A guy, he had replaced the battery as it needed and tires. And I think he had put grips, but it was factory bars, the factory seat. and it had like 13,000 miles, and he was wanting like $6,500, and it was worth that all day long. But you think, man, I don't want to buy a bike. I'm new to this. It's a 20-year-old bike. Too much. I get it. But at the same time, if you're new to it, I'm probably not running out and buying I give myself a budget, and I don't budge over that. I don't go a penny more. I'll go find a bike that fits it, and make sure I love it and do it. And you go a year, and then you move up from bike, or you buy a bike you ride for 4 or 5 years, and then you move on as your skill set goes up. But not to dominate the cost. Then the next thing that goes along with an install, I brought you a present. You've already installed them on your bike.
So, I've made the joke before to people that we rode with. If you see me adjusting my mirrors, don't worry about it, because I know that for the legal reasons, you got to have mirrors on your bike here. But I had some wore out mirrors, and
those are stock mirrors.
They were
from 2007.
Original mirrors from 2007. And the ball and socket joint that holds them steady in your adjustment, man, they are wore out, and they would fall down and pinch your fingers, and it just didn't hurt. They didn't sit right. So I just kept them turned up. I mean, because you had to have them on your bike. If I needed it, I would grab it and pull it down, look, and then turn it right back up to where it was sitting. But Dad finally brought me home a present, brought me home some Arlen Ness pork chops.
No, tear chops.
Tear chops.
Tear chops. Because you wanted not these big, huge satellite dishes, but you got to be able to see.
Yeah. So more of
the tear
slim. Yeah, that's exactly what I had been looking for, but I did not know Arlen Ness made these. I had never seen them before. Dad found them for me.
Found them at JP Cycle just on the shelf, good price. Cheaper than we could get them other places. When I went looking around, I got back to the hotel and I was like, did I pay a good price for these, or did I just get hosed? And no, they were cheaper than most places had them, but the cheaper places all were comparable prices. So so we brought them home.
Yeah. I took them out of the package as soon as I saw them, put them on the bike. Man, they look great. They gave me that small, sleek look. They're elongated. But they're skinnier, so still plenty of field of view. I'm excited to actually road test them and ride with them. But sitting in the garage, adjusting them, man, they look great, felt great, super easy to install. That's something I definitely think as a beginner, if you're wanting to try to learn to install something on your bike, mirrors are a great start. But yeah, super great. They're Arlen Ness, so you know they're going to be pretty quality.
Yeah, quality piece. They're heavy. Not heavy, but
heavy duty.
When you hold them, you know they were made well.
Yeah, very thought out.
Yeah, it's very good product. So yeah, but while we were gone, the wife and I did some cool stuff. I mean, we hit some Harley shops. We went to Kennedy Space Center one day because neither of us had been there, and I'm not a NASA nerd, but that's just cool stuff to see. We went to Destination Daytona. I mean, and Bike Week's been over, so the rally's over. The city's getting put back together. But I filmed everywhere we went, and there's going to be some videos. We got to edit them, pull them all off the camera, and I'll edit them, and they'll be hitting the YouTube side this week. And then we'll get some pictures of your mirrors, and we'll hit them on the socials. We get some more work done to your bike, we're going to have to do another bike check because you've got a lot of stuff going on. But this weekend, you were able to represent us in a group that we're trying hard to link up with, and they're great people, and we know them, and they've helped us. They've sent people our way to our channel. They share our stuff, bounce ideas off of us. Rolling Throttle guys, Drew and Crystal, they're phenomenal. We have a good time with them. But I was in Daytona, and Drew reaches out to me, and he's like, hey, we're meeting at this, we're meeting at Panera at Southridge.
He made a post on Instagram as well, inviting people.
Yeah. He put it out. Then he sends me a text, like a message by myself. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're going to go out in the morning. Meet me at Panera. And I'm like, dude, I'm in Daytona. And I was like, every time he reaches out to invite us to do something,
we're gone.
I'm either gone at something for I'm at a ball game with Kylie, or we're out of town, or we're doing this. Last time we were going to do a charity ride with him, we had a birthday dinner or something like that. So I'm like, dude, I'm in Daytona, and before you call me out and you think I don't want to do anything, I apologize. I'm sorry, but to the rescue.
Yeah.
You were home.
Yeah, I was home. Was wanting to actually ride this weekend, but didn't have anything planned. So that post came out and hit Instagram, and I was all for it. So we met up and we took off. Sadly, I had to leave early from the group. Hated that I couldn't get it done with them all the time, but we had a great ride, and I'm gonna explain everything to how we went, the routes I took, and so let's get started. So start off Saturday's ride. Our goal was to meet up at the Panera Bread in Southridge. So to get there, I left the house, hopped on 64, ran 64 into Southridge, and met up with everybody there. We were putting up flyers for Mob in the Mountains coming up this June 25th through the 27th. We were stopping in at the power sports and motorcycle shops and other places that riders are going to be most likely at for Mob in the Mountains, putting up flyers where it's at and around where it's going to be at to try to spread awareness and grow mobbing and make it more known to get more people there during the June 25th through the 27th and come ride and hang out. So got to this Panera in Southridge, got to meet up with everybody. Met some great guys. It was super cool to meet those people for the first time and hang out with the Rolling Throttle crew, Mr. and Mrs. Then Matt and Blue Ridge Moto and Dark Souls and great people. Super fun meeting them and meeting each other's name, learning each other's names, and talking about each other's bikes. So then it was kickstands up. We hit the road, go down 119, stop at Kiefer's, walk around in there, look at side-by-sides and things of that nature. And Kiefer's no longer is part of Harley-Davidson. They no longer have any Harley-Davidson stock, which I wanted to talk. I will talk about that more next episode. Because I did not know that until we got there. When I walked in, I realized there was no Harley-Davidson stuff, and everything else is just power sports. So we'll get more into that next episode. But yeah, that's something I did not know, and other people do know. But that kind of caught me off guard, man. That's another Harley shop.
Another shop
down.
Lost in the
Another
state.
shop down. But anyway, we recuperate there. And we hop back on 119. Heading down to we're heading off to the next stop. We pulled off a little bit to everybody needed fuel at this point, a little bit down the road. We refill and get back on the road. This is, again, we're still on 119. So we get back on Route 119 and we turn off on State Route 65, go through Del Barton and things, those other small towns through that road, man. Southern West Virginia is so beautiful and forgotten, and you're just seeing parts of the state that a lot of people just never will see.
Never go right.
It's beautiful, and man, I'm telling you, this Saturday let me really realize we live in probably the best state to own a motorcycle in, really. Now, sadly, I could not ride with these guys all day. They had a much longer ride, and that's something I made known before that I was going to have to split off at some point. But they were heading all the way down to where Mobbin's at, towards the Bramwell area, where the Buffalo Cabins are. And they made some other stops around the way. Check out their channels and social medias because they've got it posted on some places they hit, which I would have loved to have been a part of and been there and rode with. And I know I missed out on some good twisties and everything, but we're going to get it at Mobbin if I don't do it beforehand on my own. But we turned off, and when we got to, and we were on 65, we had to hop on 44 to get to connected to 52. You came up to the intersection for 52 and 44, and those guys, they turned right, and I had to stay straight on 44. So I split off from them, told the group bye, told them stay safe, wished them, and we all went our separate ways. I stayed on 44 all the way back through some other small towns of West Virginia. I mean, parts that even I didn't know was there. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful part of the state. And we stayed straight onto 73 on 44. And then at the end, you get connected right back on 119, right at the Walmart and big shopping plaza of Logan, West Virginia. And then it was 119 right back to home. And like I said, great riding. It was super fun riding with those guys and hanging out and being a part of that. Granted, I only put up one poster, but hey, I've still got to feel like I did a little bit of something, but I didn't get a lot done. But man, just putting those miles on my bike, I'm definitely going to make a effort to ride more of southern West Virginia and deep southern West Virginia at that more often. And man, that's just some great roads, and I can't wait for Mob in the Mountains. I hope it just continues to grow. I hope our posters are seen and people realize that's something they want to do. So any more about that, check out Rolling Throttle's website. They'll have everything about mobbing. All of your questions will be answered. So definitely check it out, and we hope to see you there at mobbing. But yeah, that was a great road. Like I said before, I'm to the guys we were with, Blue Ridge, Matt, Mr. and Mrs. Rolling Throttle, and Blue Ridge and Dark Souls. Y'all were a great time. Had a lot of fun, but also I definitely caught some slack being the only Dynabro, of course. And I'll go ahead and say it was a little chilly Saturday morning, and I'm sure those big bubbles felt nice with your fairings, because at one point when we were cruising down 119, I looked, everybody else was hanging out. They were comfortable, and I was tucked in, ducking wind, hanging out. We got parked at Keeper's, and it was, man, it's starting to feel pretty comfortable. And I was shivering still. I said, yeah, I'm sure you are. But yeah, it was a great time. But I had a lot of fun realizing, hey, the dynos are going to keep up, and we're going to make sure they keep up at mobbing too.
A Road Warrior fairing might be on the
yeah, they had another one too
from Memphis Shade.
Oh yeah,
there, which I looked at too at JP Cycles. So,
I've got some fairings I've looked into.
Yeah,
looking into some fairings, but yeah,
cut some wind. But yeah, back to Rolling Throttle, guys. He's Drew and Crystal and Jake and the crew that's working with them. If you check out their Instagram at Rolling Throttle, there's a flyer about mobbing the mountains, and it has rides the 25th through 27th. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Mm-hmm. There's a ride every day, a hangout in the evening. There's a bike night on Friday after riding that local area up there. Everybody's staying at the campground there, and rooms are booking. I hear we're talking. We're going to be the guys that show up there on Friday night. Probably meet up at Cole's before we slide into to our hotel area and catch some shut eye. And then we're planning on riding all day on Saturday with them and hanging out Saturday evening, and we're probably going to crash up there again on Saturday evening, and then we'll just make our way home Sunday that weekend with our no plan really. Just we'll hit some roads that we map out,
but we're gonna be there.
If you're up there and you want to ease on down the road with us on the way home on Sunday, feel free. The road's open, man, and everybody just needs to ride. Absolutely. Which leads us to Harley-Davidson's platform release for the summer.
Yep.
Is all about ride. The Ride Challenge has started. We talked about that.
Yeah. Today, actually, I made it down to the local dealership, Black Sheep. They're our local dealership, closest one to us, and down in Huntington, West Virginia. And I registered for one of the Harley ride events, and it was the Ride Challenge, and it was the Ride for Heroes. I didn't know, but there's two, and I didn't take the time to look for. I cannot remember the name of the other one, but I did the Ride for Heroes, which is supporting veterans, and it's a fundraiser for veterans, and it's 10 million miles to logged is going to get $1 million donated to veterans. So if you ride Harleys, I'm sure you're probably got a little bit of an American just love, which means you're going to love and support our veterans. So, hey, get out, go to your dealership, log in for that challenge, because it's going to be nothing but no effort to you to just log miles down and enjoy your motorcycle. And then you're going to be getting money sent to the veterans and the heroes of our country that took care of us and give us the freedom to do this podcast and put it out and give y'all the freedom to listen to us just blabber on.
Yeah. So like the Let's Ride Challenge, you go sign up for free.
Yeah, completely free.
You log your odometer reading to start.
Yep.
You go ride and do whatever. And then before the challenge ends in October, you go back to the dealership. They verify how many miles you've rode that you're going to ride. Mm-hmm. They record that. It goes in a bucket of all the total miles ridden. And based on the total miles ridden of guys who've registered for that challenge, Harley-Davidson wants to donate over $1 million to 4 charities that support injured veterans, wounded warriors, things of those. There's 4 charities, veteran focused, that they want to do. That's the Ride for Heroes. There's also a challenge that started, and it's like, I was just reading about it, the CVO Street Glide ST Challenge Coin Challenge. If you do this challenge, you get a virtual CVO Street Glide ST coin. But the challenge is you're trying to ride 400 miles and check in at 4 dealerships over the next 30 days, I believe. It's through the month of April. That's what it is. So that was the other challenge. Yeah. I'm sure they were like, which one do you want to sign up for? So those rides and those ride challenges are awesome. But Harley-Davidson's whole platform this summer is This Is Why We Ride. And the thing is, it's time to ride. And if you have Harley's app or whatever, it talks about, but it breaks riding down into multiple things. It's, life's better on 2 wheels, they say. And, Harley-Davidson has been around for over a century, helping people find their passion, and riding helps reset a lot of people. So there's everything they come as from where the ride comes alive is a thing they talk about, and what makes each ride memorable. It's the ride challenges. Every mile should matter. And if you can help people through charity with each mile you ride, you're going to ride anyway. Just help somebody with it. Find your right ride. Go sit on bikes, test ride bikes. While we were gone, we pulled in at Tilley Harley-Davidson in Statesville, outside of Charlotte. And they were having a ride event. And, man, people were pulling in there, signing up to ride demo day, all the bikes. And they had some fit specialists. There's things learning to ride. The Harley-Davidson Riding School that's with the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. There's explorations of dealerships that are doing that. Enjoying the ride. Finding a group to ride with. Eagle Rider Rentals is offering a deal this summer. Tickets to the museum they're trying to do. So Harley-Davidson has built their whole summer focus around ride. Like, this is why you should ride. Find your best ride. Go do a ride challenge. Make sure the ride is enjoyable. What makes it memorable for you? Their big thing is just get out and ride your bike. Ride it. I put a post out while I was gone, and it was in the Hard Rock Cafe, there's a custom bike there, and Drew he sent me who did the bike, like the customization. But I just put out, I was like, it's sitting in a show. It's sitting in a hotel, and granted, it's for marketing. It's a theme. I get it, but I just put, don't hide it, ride it.
Yeah.
Like, don't just that bike. It's definitely there for what it is. It's attraction.
It's definitely a work of art.
It is art, and but man, it would be so much better if somebody went and rode that thing 100 miles a month, just so you know it still ran.
Exactly.
It wasn't sitting there leaking. It's all S&S motor, and it's built.
Yeah.
But I'm like, don't hide it, ride it. Just whatever you've got. Whatever, if your bike's not your most favorite right now, and you think, man, I'm just waiting until I can buy a new one. If you could go log some miles and help a veteran, go ride what you got.
Yeah.
Run what you brung days.
Absolutely.
Ride what you have. Enjoy riding. Realize what it's doing for you, getting you out in nature, getting your senses going. Just get one. Just get centered again. Man, when you rattled and you just need some time and clear your mind, there's nothing like putting it in the wind for 35, 40 minutes. And sometimes we all know that 30 minutes turns into 3 hours. You've ridden through 2 tanks of gas and you're like, man, I better go home. It's getting dark. And I really was just out for a little. It resets you. Mm-hmm. Even my wife will be like, you need to go for a ride today? Or she'll be like, do you want to go fishing? She knows when I get out of balance. Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 things that set me back to me. When life gets running crazy, like we were down at cheerleading and it's loud and it's music and she's like, what are you thinking? I was like, I either need somewhere super quiet or I just need wind therapy and just the hum of a motor. Mm-hmm. And the twist of a throttle for about 45 minutes and I'll be good. Well, I didn't have my bike to ride, so I went back and I found a quiet place in the hotel room and I chilled out and it was cool. But that's the whole thing. It's just a push for the ride. I can tell you, coming back from Florida and being around Daytona and dealerships down there, and we're Harley people. I'm telling you that right now. That's what we are. We're Team Harley Davidson all the way. But Indian's getting some steam. There's a lot of energy in winning those races. And I know people's like, oh, it's a fledgling brand. Their CEO is coming out swinging with some comments and interviews about his plans for their company. Indian's got a couple big dealerships opening up in South Florida. They're like showcase dealerships, man. They're like, this is what we got. This is who we are. Their marketing is on point down there, advertising everywhere. So the Indian Harley Davidson competition might heat up. Mm-hmm. So Harley, rather than get into the rhetoric of, everybody want to know what's their response going to be at the next King of Baggers, go ride your bike.
Yeah.
Find why you ride. Find why you love this brand again. Make sure, without a doubt, this is your brand. And that you're into it and you love it and we love it. Would I like to test ride a couple different brands of bikes? Absolutely. But I'm going to come back to, I'm not going anywhere. If Harley Davidson is watching this and you're worried about me not having a Harley Davidson, I'm not going anywhere. Because I love that product the most.
Yeah.
Like when I see it, it's the most appealing to me. Can I appreciate a nice truck that's a brand I wouldn't buy? Yeah. There's some guys do some great things, but everybody has their own brand of vehicle they like better than the other, right?
Yeah.
But that to me surprised me because up here we don't see the Indian advertising. It's just our local market.
Yeah.
We don't see much Harley Davidson advertising.
No.
But man,
you see Harley bikes.
You drive down the interstate, you're seeing Indian billboards, you're seeing Harley Davidson billboards. There's tons of big dealers and stuff like that. Destination Daytona is basically a Harley bar and shield hotel, restaurant. It's huge.
Yeah.
Teddy Morse Destination Daytona, Harley Davidson of Daytona. huge dealership. Has a barber shop in there. I mean, crazy. It's big. But, I mean, you're not going in there and you're not walking in there with your Indian shirt on. But everybody in there was so nice, you probably could. And they'd be like, let's put you on a real bike. You know, they'd probably approach it that way. But at the same time, I was really like commercials on TV advertising like over by Tampa, Buccaneer Indian dealership. I mean, it's a Burt's Barracuda, Burt's Black Pearl, the Harley dealership. Well, he now has a Indian dealership because he just wants to take care of everybody. I get it. He's probably playing both sides of the fence. He's a businessman. He sells things. That's how he makes a living. He probably sells 10-to-1 Harleys to Indians right now. Yeah. But he wouldn't have jumped in the Indian world if he didn't know that the pulse in Florida was. Yeah, he would. If he didn't think there was traction. He's a smart businessman. He wouldn't have done it. I was surprised at the billboard advertising, the TV commercials we don't see up here. Yeah, it wasn't. You pull up your Facebook or whatever. I mean, my algorithm's all motorcycles. We know that. I get lots of advertisements through social media. But down there, hard mainstream media outlets really showing marketing of motorcycle competition per se. You know, up here you'll see Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha. Yeah, you'll see tons of commercials like that
on
up
TV
here.
and on your cell phone and everything.
And you don't even have to be watching a motorcycle racing event. No, now, definitely when those are on, you see those commercials. Yeah. But down there, I mean, it could be in the afternoon a talk show, and you would see an Indian commercial. I was just surprised. But and a Harley commercial. Yeah. That type of stuff. So that market opened my eyes a little bit. We're kind of insulated here. I mean, we have an Indian dealership that's local, but
it's small. I mean, it's 15 bikes on the showroom
I know
floor.
One guy that has an Indian. Yeah. And I haven't ever seen him ride it. I know he had it, but he also gets ridden and moves bikes a lot. But he had one, and they don't make it anymore. So, I mean, he's not the guy that's going to keep those. He's going to go get something else. He just likes different brands and playing around with motorcycles. He's not a significant brand loyalist. He's hey, this tickles my fancy. I'll ride that for 6 months, and then I'll sell it. Yeah. That's how he is. He's not the guy coming in buying 3 and 4 T-shirts and all your merch and all that stuff, but he's a motorcycle guy. Yeah.
But he's a motorcycle guy. He's not a Harley guy.
Yeah, he's not an Indian He's not guy. A culture. Yeah. He's not about the culture, but he's about the community. Yeah. Right? And I say that's a difference. And there is significant difference if you open your eyes to that. Like motorcycling culture it can be dirt shallow, or it can get deep and twisted as far as you want to go into certain areas. But community-wise is, the ability to wave at a guy that's on a different brand of motorcycle than you shouldn't be a question. If you're on your bike and somebody's broke down, you should pull over and help them. If you're in your car and you got the ability to pull over and help somebody broken down on a bike, it's like, hey, man, you okay? I ride too. What can I help you with? Yeah.
Just today, there was 2 Triumphs, a Bonneville and another type of Bonneville. I know Triumph makes that bike with like 15 variations. Yeah. Great looking motorcycles. Dude, these things are super cool. 2 guys sitting on the side of the road. Not like pulled off on the side of the road, but I mean on the side of the road. Yeah, sitting there, in a like gravel area. I pulled over to make sure they were okay because I mean I have tools. I carry tools. They didn't have saddlebags, and it was hey, y'all okay? Yeah, we're waiting on somebody to meet us here. He was like, but man, I appreciate you stopping. And I was like, well, y'all be safe. Have a good one. And I left. That's how motorcycling should be. That
should be. That's pretty cool. I'm glad you did that. We were coming down the interstate today at interstate speed to get home when you're driving 13 hours, 11 hours. And we were in the outside lane, and a guy was on the shoulder, and I couldn't get to him. But it was a more, a later model Road Glide, and he didn't even have all of his stuff off. He had it looked like the latch of his storage container. He was fiddling with it, but he was standing by his bike. And your mom even was like, "Do we need to stop? Do we need to go back and help that guy? Because you'd want to know." And he wasn't looking at his engine. He was literally fiddling. I could see him from far enough away. I couldn't get over, but he was literally just fiddling with a plastic latch. And I could tell he wasn't broken down. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think that's a cosmetic thing.
Yeah.
And he was still even sitting on his bike fiddling. He wasn't off looking at, but he was sitting there. And he too may have been waiting on somebody. Maybe he had gotten separated from a group or something.
Yeah.
But she was like, "There's a motor. Do we need to turn? Do we need to get off the next exit and come back and help him?" So I appreciated her even saying, "Oh," and she's like, "If y'all were broken down, I would hope somebody would stop and help you." That's her mentality. So yeah, cool. I'm glad you stopped and checked on those guys.
Yeah.
Next week we'll have something about the Harley shop closing. I want to do a quick little run through of in the tri-state area around us what Harley shops have closed.
Yeah. We'll try to find out what all ones we can find.
Yeah. But we did find out that within the week of Black Sheep and Harley-Davidson and West Virginia consolidating, that Kiefer's turned in all their inventory and all their licensing and dealership franchise stuff and no longer a dealer. But we'll see if there's a backstory. I'm not trying to bash anybody. Listen, they do killer business in side-by-sides. They are a power sports powerhouse in our state.
Yeah.
A lot of people travel a lot of miles. And with the Hatfield and McCoy Trail in their backyard,
they're doing just fine.
I'm sure they are going to do just fine. We don't want any. Yeah. I want you to maintain your business model, and you do you. But I remember when that was Mike's Harley Davidson in Del Barton, in a little place down in Del Barton. And then it became, was it Southern West Virginia Harley Davidson or something like that for a while. And then it went into part of Kiefer's Power Sports. And we just were over there last year, and you didn't get the feeling like that it was...
They had a lot of bikes.
You didn't get the feeling that they were looking to move on from being a dealer. So hopefully, maybe there's no smoke there, and they just said, "Hey, we looked at our books. But being a Harley-Davidson dealership don't help us. We could use the floor space for more power sports. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
That's a business move. Awesome."
I got to say, if you're in the dirt world, I'm pretty sure they're going to have whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, those guys are phenomenal.
They've got 2 and 3 of everything.
Yeah, they've got knowledge. Guys that walk around in there, you got a question, they're going to tell you about it. And it's not salesman stuff. It's hey, I have this mine's in the back getting worked on. When walk back here and you look at it.
Yeah.
Same way when it was Max Kawasaki over in when Mac owned it.
Yeah. Man, whenever we rolled in to try to put up a poster there, it was, "Y'all need anything? Waters? Good? No, we're all good. All right, great. What do y'all need?" We brought them the flyer to put up. They didn't try to hide it on the poster board that sits by the bathrooms that are over in the corner that nobody's going to see unless they walk to the bathroom. Right on the front door. Wham, tape it up.
That's right.
They want people to see it. So they were taking care of us. Obviously, they didn't hate on bikes. So.
It's community helping community, man. And I bet you they still can service stuff or help you. I'm sure if a guy traveling through there is broke down on a Harley
somebody's
and can get off of that off of the exit there, somebody's going to try their best there at that dealership to help him. It's just who they are. You want to think that's who we are as West Virginians, but hopefully it runs deeper than that as human beings.
Yeah.
So that being said, I don't have anything else to offer.
I think I'm done.
I thought we were going to have a really short show. I bet this one goes a little longer than we thought. But these are the best ones. Like I said, I was gone last week, so we're going to post some little videos about what we did, where we were, what we were doing. That might be your thing. It might not, but check them out, and we'll make sure we do a little post of the new mirrors. May get Z to do a quick short or a talk about them. We'll post that. We're going to try to put 3 or 4 good things out this week, content-wise, on the YouTube side. So if you're listening on a podcast on the audio side, jump over to the YouTube channel. It's not just this same stuff that you're listening to. We do other stuff on that side. So,
and I'm sorry I didn't have any camera equipment with me to film on and film with the thing. Yeah, you did a lot of filming though in Daytona. We did not know the ride was going to come up. That was a last minute decision. But man, I wish I would have had. I wish I would have had a camera with me because I would have at least tried to catch some moments.
Now you got us some roads to rip, and we can go rip those, and we'll both have cameras. But Dad fell. I took the camera. We keep our camera in a carry gear that's hard cased, and so it doesn't get damaged. And I just grabbed the case, and it's both our cameras, it's our mics, it's everything, so I can keep it charged in one place. And then he's like, "Hey, I don't have a camera," and I mean, he's like, "I don't even need a mic, I just need a camera." And I'm like, I'm looking at both cameras. I had them with me. Big time fail on Dad part, but managing the resources, I got to do better. But anyway, with that being said, get us out of here, man.
So that's all for today's episode, guys. Thanks for joining us and listening to our conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out on all our platforms. Remember, you're looking at us. You found us on YouTube. If you're just on the audio side, check us out, Bikers and Backroads on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and TikTok under the same username, and on X we are B&B_pod. Definitely opening up some better weather here in West Virginia, so if you're local, get to riding, and we'll holler at y'all later.
We appreciate you riders. Stay safe, be blessed. We'll see you next time.